During my time in lawn care, I've used a wide variety of sprinklers. I've never quite found one right out of the box that I really loved. A few years ago, I made my own DIY version of an in-ground irrigation system with sprinkler timers, hoses, and some DIY sprinkler heads with parts that I bought online. In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own professional grade sprinkler head without the need for an in-ground irrigation system. You'll do this for a fraction of the price that you'd pay for one of those cheaply made sprinklers from the big box stores. So stay tuned to see how I did it. If you've ever priced out an in-ground irrigation system for your lawn, you know that the systems are very expensive. I couldn't fathom spending that much money on an in-ground system to keep my lawn watered for less than half of the year here in Indiana. My goal was to get similar benefits to a professional in-ground irrigation system without breaking the bank. I knew there had to be a better way. Now there's three basic parts that you're going to need to actually build this sprinkler. First being the sprinkler head. Now I opt for these Rainbird 32 SA sprinkler heads, mainly because these rotors throw a good distance from 19 to 32 feet, and they do a good job of being able to adjust the spray. You're also going to need a 1/2 inch riser, which you can find on Amazon, and I like to use these sprinkler spike attachments just for ease of use and able to move it around the lawn. Now if you're interested in any of these parts, I've linked them all in the description below of this video if you want to look into them more or purchase for yourself. I can tell you at the time of filming this video that these were the best prices I could find on each of these parts through Amazon. You could also shop around and visit your local stores like Lowe's or Home Depot or hardware stores in your area to see if you can find better pricing on these products. Now assembly of this unit is super simple. You basically have the three parts here. I start with the sprinkler spike. Now you're going to want to remove the tape from the riser that comes on there. I also like to use some plumber's tape here to wrap on the threads just to make sure we don't have any leaks. But once we wrap our tape around, you're basically going to screw the riser in until it's tight. And then you're going to take your sprinkler rotor head, wrap the tape around that as well, and then screw it until tight. I'll also tell you that if you're not going to be connecting multiple heads, if you don't have the water pressure for that, which I don't, I always just make sure this is tight. And I found that using a pair of channel locks works great to tighten this down and then tighten this down. You just want to make sure you're going easy, tighten everything up really good, and then you end up with this. And that's really as simple as the setup is to create this thing. Not a complicated process at all. Cost-wise, I spent $37.21 for a 4-pack of the Rainbird sprinkler heads, working out to $9.30 per head. I spent $20.99 for an 8-pack of spikes, which works out to $2.62 per spike. And I spent $1.19 each for the 2-inch spray head risers. The total cost per sprinkler built is around $13.11 before tax, and even after you throw the tax in there, you're at less than $15 for a quality sprinkler head. A quick search online for a rotary sprinkler similar to this led me to this unit here from Melnor. Now this thing retails for $25.99, and you can tell by the build that it's not near the quality of this Rainbird DIY head. And the Rainbird DIY head also tends to be over $10 cheaper. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please hit that like button to help out with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks. Now let's talk a little bit about adjusting these heads. There is a screw on the top of this head here. That's just a Phillips that if you tighten it down, you're going to adjust the stream of your water. So you can see how I get a better stream here that's closer. So if you have a small area, your water is only going to go out so far. You loosen that screw to the left, you're going to obviously shoot a longer stream out to 32 feet is the spray distance on this. Now as far as adjusting the actual rotor, as you can see here, it's set to go like this. Now I found that basically you want to adjust when you got this on to get your spray head in line and adjust it out to where you want to shoot. So you can see that I had just adjusted my spray head angle, and then once we get that set to the area that I want to do, then I'll work on adjusting the screw. This might give you a better look at the fan. There's basically a screw tip that goes down in there and adjust that spray angle. So easy as that. To change the rotors, like I said, you're just moving around to each place, and then When you're done, we'll kill the water here and shut it down. This is just going to pop down just like a standard traditional in-ground system. Now these are the same heads that you would use on an in-ground system. We just put it on a spike. Now I will leave this here in certain areas. This one won't move, and then I'll just run it through my irrigation timer when I want to water this area. Simple as that, and for less than 15 bucks, it's just been a game changer for me. Instead of using an impact sprinkler or a oscillating sprinkler to come out here and move it around all the time. This, coupled with the timer, has just made this so easy. I can set it to a schedule, and this thing runs just like I have an in-ground irrigation system, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. Now, the obvious benefit of taking a few minutes to build your own sprinkler head is that lower cost, but I can tell you quality-wise, this DIY Rainbird head is far better than those cheaply made sprinklers you can find at the store. I'm going on using my DIY Rainbird heads for over 2 years now, and they still work just as good now as they did on the first day that I used them. The gears in these heads are built to last, which is something that's very important to me considering how much I irrigate my lawn during the summer months. The other benefit of making your own sprinkler head is obviously the adjustability based on your needs. You have the ability to select specific sprinkler heads that meet your needs for your lawn from various manufacturers. Now, you don't have to use these Rainbird heads that I use. You can find a good sprinkler head that goes on an in-ground irrigation unit. Just make sure if you have to adjust the thread size or other parts that those mesh up together. But you can easily swap sprinkler heads by unscrewing it from the riser, putting a new head on, and going out in your lawn and using that sprinkler for what you need it for. And if your spikes bend or break over time from placing them in different areas, you can always just upgrade sprinkler spikes and keep the sprinkler head and save yourself money there without having to toss the whole sprinkler and get a new one. This DIY sprinkler build is easy enough that almost anyone could do it. As I mentioned earlier, this setup's been a game changer for me over the last few years, and I won't go back to buying standard pre-built sprinklers again for my lawn irrigation needs. I always recommend this type of setup to anyone that asks me what the best sprinkler that I own is, hands down. As I said earlier, if you want to build your own DIY sprinkler head like what I built in this video, be sure to check out the description of this video below for links to purchase parts. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on future updates. I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time out in the lawn.